You're more my rebel now. You're more my rebel now. Oh, 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 oh,
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pants less from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a road, from sideline judge to post-match tales. All the big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world, where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.
Wasted world of sports.
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Ahoy, footy fans. Welcome back as Magic Round continues. We've got a few good games today, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Magic Round off to a fantastic start last night. We saw 2 games go within 10 points. The opposition was close on both occasions, but just a little bit too far away in the end, of course. Kicking off today, the South Sydney Rabbitohs take on the Newcastle Knights. It is absolute last chance for the Knights. We are this close to putting a line through them if we haven't done so already. But if they can't get the job done today against a South Sydney team that are reeling with absences, then I just give them no hope whatsoever for the rest of the season. If they can't get it done today, forget about it. They're never going to get it done. And the thing about the Knights is they're not a bad team. You run through them on paper, really not a bad team. Kalen Ponga, James Schiller, Dan Gagai, Bradman Best, Greg Marju, Fletcher Sharp, and Jack Cogger is a hell of a backline. And throw Phoenix Crossland in there, and that's a pretty solid-looking spine all round. I just don't know what's going wrong with them at the moment. But as I said, if they don't get it done today against a South team with no Latrell Mitchell, no Jack Whiten, no Cody Walker, there's probably a few more missing as well up front. Well, then, if they can't get it done today, I just don't know. Dylan Bransby, ahoy, mate. Doing very well today. Got to get used to these Magic Round early starts. Flo Lacey, ahoy there. I've left Marju off my anytime try scorers today because every time I put him in, he lets me down. He's one of those players. If I've got him in my same game multi, forget about it. He's not scoring a try. So I've decided to just never put him in again. That said, I do think there's going to be a lot of tries. A lot of tries scored today. And that's why I've gone with a four-legger that heavily involves the back line. Both teams involved. NRL fan 25, ahoy, mate. I hope Gray scores a try. Sweet P 458, ahoy. I like the New South Wales Blues logo there in the avatar too. Very nice. Go the Blues this year. Go the Blues every year. But I do think at full strength, Queensland have got the slight advantage at the moment. But, of course, they're not going to be full strength. But I digress. This is not about Origin. Origin's coming up very, very soon. But it's not about that tonight or today. Today's about the continuation of Magic Round and the Rabbitohs and Knights up first. Mookie, ahoy, mate. Warriors, Cowboys coming up after this one and then finishing the night. Should we make it? If we manage to get through all three, finishing the night with the Tigers versus the Dragons, which, I mean, the Dragons, they're capable of turning up and putting on a show. But I am leaning towards the Tigers in that one for now. And I'm sorry, South Sydney supporters. I'm so terribly sorry. I love the Rabbitohs. I really do. And Wayne Bennett is one of the all-time greatest coaches. But I don't think even Wayne Bennett will be able to pull off a miracle here. Souths have just got too many outs. And if Newcastle can't get the win here, then by God, wooden spoon for them. Sweet Pea says, next game is Samuel Healy's debut NRL game. Nice. We love a good debut. And actually, something interesting happened last night during the Roosters game. Now, I've corrected that now for today. So today I've got the Facebook live chat open. I've corrected it because last night, during the Roosters game, there was somebody on the Facebook live chat with the last name Toya who went into the chat and said something along the lines of, way to go. Can't remember if he said big bro or little bro, but obviously talking about Robert Toya. I was thinking to myself, have I just missed in the chat room one of the players' families? I mean, it's happened before. And I have thankfully not missed it. We had one of the Hetheringtons in the TikTok chat. Now, of course, as always on social media, whether or not these are the people that they are claiming to be, who knows? But I can't imagine that somebody's going to come into the chat room and be lying about being Robert Toya's brother. Doesn't make sense. But that's an interesting little tidbit as we get ready for kickoff here in this one. WR Troy wants to know who we've got winning. Look, I am leaning towards Newcastle here. I know I say all the time, never underestimate a Wayne Bennett coached team. It's my favorite saying. And I bring it out every time a Wayne Bennett coached team is involved. But I just... hang on, let's see if I can talk myself out of this. At the moment, I've gone for Newcastle. I'm leaning towards Newcastle. I'm far from confident about that. Lewis Dodd at 5'8". We don't know what he's going to bring. Could be magic. He could come out and have a man-of-the-match performance and set the competition on fire. Lewis Dodd and Jaden Sullivan in the halves. Jai Gray back at fullback. That's a fantastic move. That's a plus for the Rabbitohs. Bailey, Bentley, Harpe, Ewan Aitken, Campbell Graham, and Isaiah Tass, the wings and centers. Newcastle have just been playing so bad, haven't they? They've just been playing so badly. It's hard to go for them, but yeah, just too many outs here for the Rabbitohs. Too many outs, I think, to overcome. And I'm going to stick with the Knights for this one. Looking forward to it. Havili's out as well, so there's a few changes there in the forward pack, but still pretty solid looking forward pack still for the Rabbitohs. Despite that, Kalau Matungi, Duncan, Arrow, Tavita Totola. Totola's got the captaincy today. There was actually a funny moment with Wayne Bennett in the media scrum, I guess you would call it, the interview that he did earlier in the day for one of the news agencies. Can't recall which one it was, but they asked him about Jai Gray as the captain. So, Wayne, what do you think? Jai Gray, the captain, do you think he's up for it? It's an interesting choice. And Wayne Bennett, stern-faced, said Jai Gray's not the captain. Oopsie, by the reporter. A little bit of a mess up there. Wayne was not impressed, as you can probably imagine. Team's getting ready to leave the sheds. The Knights, as I said, if they can't get themselves up for this, forget about it. NA says Knights 13 plus. I don't know that it will be by that many, but I do think the Knights get the win. No Latrell Mitchell, no Jack Whiten, no Cody Walker. A lot of unknowns there in that South Sydney team. Next game, I've got the Warriors to win as well. Although it's going to be a tight one as well. It's going to be a tight one. The Cowboys are no schlubs. And it won't be an easy win for the Warriors. But I do think they can do it. I've just got a sense about the Warriors this season. Not that they're any threat to win the competition. But I do believe they make the 8. They will be playing finals footy this year, I reckon. The Warriors. Just, there's a point of difference about them this season. And I know we say that every single year, it feels like. But there is just something different about them in 2025. Newcastle Knights out onto the field. Not a bad turnout here for a Saturday afternoon, especially on election day. People getting in bright and early. They've probably already popped down to the voting polls and slapped their votes in for whatever they think it's worth. The results are already decided, of course, but that's just my little conspiracy theory, I guess. Lewis Dodd. Let's see how he goes. 79 Super League games for St. Helens. And now ready to have a go for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Ready for kickoff. There's no fluffing about here today. Magic round continues. The Rabbitohs get us underway. Knights will have first use of it. And bringing it from the back fence. The Knights outside their own 20 to start this. Diafidi on a big run. Sweet Pea says, if my Warriors team don't make it to the finals this year, I will be happy. Right, if they don't make it. Interesting. Crossland now onto Frizzell. Frizzell up towards the halfway mark. Solid opening set so far for the Knights. Can they keep it up? Pogger just shuffles it along. And it's Pierce Paul. Tackled on the halfway mark. 5th and last. Staying on the far side. Cogger gets the kick away. And Jai Gray. He's met with a wall of Knights defenders. And he is driven backwards in the tackle. Now that's his only real problem at the moment. Jai Gray is his size. He gets monstered in these hits. And that's my only concern for him at the moment. But he loves it. He loves the competition. He loves the contest. Little Mighty Mouse, Jai Gray, having a good year so far. Good Lord, if I'm losing my voice already a minute and a half in, we could be in for a long day. Hang on, I just need to... That's better. Game of Mel, ahoy there. Fifth and last for the Bunnies. They kick down into the corner where Marju waits. And Marju takes on Campbell Graham. And he's lost that battle. Graham gets some help. And the Knights will start this set almost 30 metres out from their own line. Right on this near touch. Noah, ahoy there, mate. Winding up for a big hit there. And the Knights still in possession. They've done well to avoid that. Saifidi up to the 40. He's a big unit, Saifidi. Brazil through the hands now. Cogger to Ponga. 3-on-1 here. Gagai steps back in field, though. Now he's into open space. Pierce Paul and Crossland in support. It goes to Crossland, and he's taken down from behind. 10 out. Quick play the ball. Fifth and last. The Knights are going to run it. Ponga pops it up for Dylan Lucas. Steps back in field, and he is caught with the ball on the last. That will be a handover. They've started well, though, the Knights. Almost going the length of the field and just couldn't finish it off there in the end. Game of Mel, I've gone for the Knights in this one. I think. I love how confident I am of that fact. I'm fairly certain I've gone with the Knights. As the Rabbitohs now throw a mile forward pass into touch, and the Knights will have it back. I did go for the Knights. There you go. The Knights will be back in possession here. 30 metres out from the line, and a big opportunity. Massive opportunity now. Newcastle, full set of 6. Saifidi plays it. Brazil at first receiver. Newcastle playing with a slight breeze at their back in the first half. It's more sort of angling across the field. Nice ball there to Dylan Lucas, who runs back at that Nickera 45-degree angle. 20 metres out. 6 again. Crossland sends it out to the right, where Cogger waits. Inside ball for Saifidi. And he takes it within 10. Crossland again to Frizzell at first receiver. Cogger with the short ball to Pierce Paul. And he's nearly through. The Rabbitohs doing well to hold on here. Gagai tries to do it all on his own. From dummy half, over the line, but can't get the ball down. James Schiller, he's fighting for it. But he's held up. Bunnies there in full force. James Schiller, a little bit of the white line fever there. Still 10 from the line. It's still on here for Newcastle. Sharp onto Ponga. Harbour Bridge ball over to Marju, who steps back in field, and he's brought down half a metre short. Fifth and last. This Rabbitohs defence, valiant. Ponga at first receiver. Pumps the little grubber in behind the line, and it sets up for Fletcher Sharp to score. What a dream start here for Newcastle. They're going to have a look, but it's gone up as a try. And the Knights are up 4-0. Potentially. Kick to come right under the sticks. They're off to a ripper of a start. Kalen Ponga with the try assist. Well, we need him for a try. But he's a confidence player there, Ponga, and that will give him the world of confidence. A try assist to start. Fletcher Sharp did his best to lose it. But he has held on. What a start there for Newcastle. Burko, ahoy. Very simple conversion, this one to come. And it looks like plenty of time left, but it looks like our concerns were very valid. As Kalen Ponga puts the conversion over to make it 6-0. The Knights on top here. As I was saying in the pregame, the Knights, they've got a team. Hell of a team. If everything clicks for them, they could cause some upsets throughout the course of the season. Don't you worry about that. They've got themselves off to a fantastic start in this one. Knights 13 plus. I still don't know if it will be that much. They've started very, very well. Couldn't have asked for a better start here, the Knights, in a must-win weekend for them. Desperation does amazing things for teams, doesn't it? And of course, this game comes at a fantastic time for them because the Rabbitohs so severely under strength at the moment. Brazil tackled just outside the 30. And Leo Thompson now with the offload. Picked up on the bounce by Cogger. Goes through a gap. Cogger's up over halfway. They've got an overlap here to the right. Pierce Paul to Gagai. And here's Schiller. Schiller gets on the outside of Bentley Harpe. Fires it back in field and it's intercepted. Oh boy, the Knights, they've come to play. And the desperation defense, the scrambling of the Bunnies is all that's really keeping them in it at the moment. Not applicable. N/A's, says Sharp, Bradman, and Schiller. James Schiller was nearly away there. Great grab around the shoulders from behind by Bentley Harpe. Saves the day there. But now the Bunnies absolutely stuck in quicksand. 40 metres out from their own line now, fifth and last. Down the short side and a low flat kick there. That Ponga traps with his chest and returns it to the 35. And this is decent enough field position here for the Knights. Nobody's back for them though, so Schiller has to do the hit up. Bumps away from two tackles. Schiller gets the fend and goes straight up the middle. Diving and bringing him down from behind. Almost diving anyway. Tallis Duncan. Front foot ball for the Knights though. Frizzell to Ponga. Down the left they shift it. Bradman Best. 15 out from the line. Slow play the ball. Lucky to not give away a 6 again there, the Rabbitohs. Desperate in their defensive efforts. They absolutely must hold on here. 10 metres out. Again, Jairo gets involved in the ruck. 6 more tackles. Oh, they didn't need to do that. And they're offside again here. That should be 6 more. Leo Thompson in front of the post. 5 out. This is tackle 2. Frizzell used as the decoy. Goes out the back for Cogger. And now Sharp finds some open space. And Sharp, don't tell me he's got a double. He's claiming it. Fletcher Sharp is claiming it. And he has got a double inside 10 minutes. It is the weekend of the double. We saw it last night. 2 for the Fox. 2 for Stone Street. And then we saw 2 in the other game as well. And now, 10 minutes into the contest, we've got 2 for Fletcher Sharp. Fletcher, you've got to share it around, mate. 2 for Victor Radley, that's who it was. A double for Victor the Inflictor last night as well. And a double for Fletcher Sharp. The Knights. Oh, did he get it down? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Not only have the Knights gone back-to-back, Fletcher Sharp has gone back-to-back. And they are well on top here. 10 minutes gone. It's about to be 12-0. A dream scenario here for Newcastle. Ponga almost hits the post with that conversion. God, that would have been a shocker. 2 tries for Fletcher Sharp, 2 conversions for Kalen Ponga. 10 minutes gone, and it's the Knights up 12 points to 0. can go ahead and update now. Scoreboard, thank you. There you go. Burko said quite a few minutes ago, be interesting game, this one. I'm thinking Bunnies myself. You might be getting a little bit nervous about that prediction now, Burko. Plenty of time left in this one, though. As we know, in this modern era of the game, the six again era, teams can pile on points very, very quickly. So I certainly wouldn't be writing anybody off just yet. Not with so much time left in the game. Frick cheese, ahoy! Schiller / Fletcher to combine for 2+ tries. Tickety tick. Well, he did it himself, didn't he? They're already back up over halfway here. The Knights on tackle 4. Bradman Best fighting his way across the halfway mark. Saifidi in midfield. 5th and last. Cogger. From 30 out. Puts it up. And it's taken to the back by Campbell. Graham. And Graham surrenders 10 meters out from the line. Can they get some sort of go forward here? The Rabbitohs, some form of momentum, get themselves back in the game. They're spending their entire time bringing it out of their own end at the moment. Benji says, thank God I have Sharp in my fantasy team. Mitchell Vella Sport, ahoy mate. I did get the first 2 games right. And it's looking like I'm getting this one as well. Plenty of time left, though. Let's not get carried away as Marju takes the high ball. 20 meters out from their own line now. The Knights well on top. Flo Lacey says Sharks winger got 2 last night. And the Fox got 2 last night. And Victor Radley got 2 last night. As Ponga to Gagai. They've got an overlap again. And here goes Pierce Paul down the outside. Dummies. Shrugs off Jai Gray like he's a little ragdoll. 10 meters out from the line. On play 4. Front foot for the Knights. Numbers out to the left. Ponga in midfield. Onto Lucas. Lucas has to swivel back and go in front of the post. Crash ball. And Cogger gets up and dives over the line. You might find it's a double movement. It's not. It's gone up as a try. They're in again, the Knights. Potentially, they'll have a look. Jack Cogger, and it's all been done through the halves. 5/8 and halfback have combined for 3 tries now. Kai Pierce, Paul in full flight, and poor little Jai Gray. Well, I'll tell you what. This is an interesting talking point. If you're not allowed to tackle around the head, you shouldn't be allowed to bend a defender off in the face. That's just my 2 cents, but a huge don't argue there from Pierce Paul. Well, we were concerned about the Rabbitohs. We were concerned about how many players they've got out. How are they going to survive, even with Wayne Bennett, the master coach? I think we're getting our answer. And the answer, I'm afraid, is they're just not, as the conversion is successful. It's now 3 tries to the Knights. 2 for Fletcher Sharp, 1 now for his halves partner, Jack Cogger. Condor, 1994. Ahoy, mate. Condor says, Honeys, how are you letting the Knights do this to you? Throw in the towel. The Knights let the kickoff bounce. TKD, that's a great idea. I will endeavor to do that. Absolutely. Where I would put it, I don't know, but There's probably absolutely no reason for my multi to be on the screen the whole time. So perhaps I replace it with that. But yes, good idea, and definitely something I can look at doing moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, here's Frizzell straight up the middle as the Knights look to get back in to Rabbitohs territory. Crossland from dummy half puts the kick down, and it sits up nicely for Jai Gray at the back. Gets away from Crossland and finds half a gap. Wrapped up, though, Jacob Siafidi gets there. Fletcher Sharp gets there. And that attacking threat of Jai Gray is shut down. 15 minutes gone, 18 points to 0. We haven't really seen a blowout this weekend. The games have been pretty tight. Just 10 points difference in both games. As Gray tries to put the fend on Cogger. He's wrapped up just over halfway. Tallis Duncan gets the arms free, but he had no support to offload to. 30 out from the line now. Fifth and last, and Dodd will put it high. Ponga's under it and under no pressure. Ponga brings it out to the 10. And it's a big hit from Tavita Totola. Bruce, ahoy, mate. Marju. And they're offside. The Rabbitohs offside. Well, they just did all the hard yards. Got themselves down the other end. Got Ponga. Oh, that's high contact with the shoulder as well. Totola could be in a little bit of trouble here. He could be on report. The wind picks this one up, but not enough. It still finds touch. And the Knights are straight back down into Bunnies territory. 18 points to 0. Boy, you get the feeling it could be about to get a whole lot worse. As Dylan Lucas takes the first hit up. And inside the 40 they march. 3 big games, of course, today. This one. And after this, we've got the Warriors versus the Cowboys. And then the Tigers versus the Dragon to finish off Super Saturday here on Magic Round. Frizzell angles back towards the tackled area. And Junior Totola is on report. So there you go. Totola is on report for that shoulder to the head of Pongo that was missed initially on ground. 20 meters out. Frizzell to Sharp. Dummies. Gives the ball off now to Leo Thompson. Thompson's a big unit. Carries it inside the 10. DJ Shack, ahoy, mate. They go left. Sharp to Ponga. Holds the pass up for Bradman. Best is held up. Just half a meter short. That will be the handover. They're inside their own 10, though. The Rabbitohs, a familiar starting point for them. Familiar sight. DJ Shack, I put it down to a combination of... desperation. I mean, they've got to... Even if they lose admirably, if you know what I mean. I think the time for admirable losses is done. The Knights have to win this, and they have to win big to try and turn their season around. TKD, thank you very much for the 20 roses. The Rabbitohs put this kick down to Ponga, and he's got Marju there in support, and Marju brings it out to the 20. 18 and a half gone, 18 points to 0. The time has caught up to the Knights here. They were racing the clock at the start of this. Taps 2025. Ahoy, mate. Go Knights, says Taps. Jack the King with bucket hats. Who did you tip? I went for the Knights, thankfully. And now Ponga's up in the line again. Short ball to Best. Flick pass out the back for Marju, who spills it. Don't know that he was expecting it there, Marju. And here's a chance for the Bunnies at long last. An opportunity for them. A full set of 6 inside Knights territory. A full set. And I can't help but notice that Marju there is favouring a shoulder. We'll have to keep an eye on that. They don't want to lose Greg Marju. Bunnies win the scrum, go down the short side. 40 metres out from the Knights line. But to go back to your question just quickly, DJ Shaq. Desperation stations for the Knights. And, of course, a severely understrength Rabbitohs team. No Latrell Mitchell, no Jack White, and no Cody Walker. Just to name a few. No Havili. Through the hands now out to the left. They go. Lewis Dodd with the dummy. Steps back in field. 15 metres out. A couple of tackles left. Sullivan changes direction. Heads back short side. Spills the ball. And Kalen Ponga comes away with it. Just not happening here for the Bunnies. It is not their day. 20 minutes gone. 18 points to 0. One-way traffic at the moment in favour of the Knights. I hope that we all changed our tip at the last second, like I did after we saw the team sheets. Cross them now to Frizzell, the Uso, our newest channel member. Ahoy, mate. As Frizzell up over halfway, slightly high contact around the shoulders. Last play, short side. Cogger puts it high. And little Jai Gray's under it. He'll return it to the 20 or just shy of. Mark O'Brien, ahoy, mate. Takra Yaboa, ahoy, buddy. Go Bunnies. And it is the Bunnies with the ball here. Campbell Graham brings it outside the 30, but then he's driven straight back in. Pops the pass back for Kalamatangi, who offloads in turn to Matt LeBlanc. 21 and a half gone, 10 short of halfway. They go left for Jai Gray to scoot through. Half a gap, Cogger brings him down. Great tackle. 40 out from the Knights line now. Sullivan to Kalamatangi. Cutout pass for Graham, who's out on the wing. Angles back in field. Offloads back for Tass. They're keeping the ball alive here, the Rabbitohs. This is better stuff. Beware the second phase play. 15 out in midfield. They go left. A grubber kick in behind the line to a perfectly positioned Kalen Ponga. And Ponga will bring it back into the field of play. And will get a penalty for being dragged back into the end goal. Jai Arrow, ill-disciplined once again. Well, he's got a track record, hasn't he? Jai Arrow, fantastic player. But a big laundry list of ill-discipline. And there was absolutely no need for him to do that. That's twice now. The Rabbitohs have got the Knights pinned down their own end, but have just thrown it away with a silly penalty. Saifidi carries outside the 30. Slow play the ball. He seems gassed. Saifidi's put in a big first stint. And the Knights have just slowed down a tick or two here. I mean, they've played very well to get out to that 18 points to 0 lead, so they couldn't keep up that intensity forever, I suppose. Fifth and last, just inside Rabbitohs half. Sharp at the back of a very uneventful set of 6, puts the kick down. And Campbell Graham with the kick return here for the Rabbitohs, who, well, I mean, 18 points still, racing up out of the line there. Gagai puts the hit on. Gagai was not messing around. 18 points to 0 with like 60 minutes basically left to play, and they get a penalty. This will help. High contact penalty to the Rabbitohs. What I'm saying is there's no need to panic. Not just yet. There's still a whole half of football left. 60 minutes. 3 converted tries is really nothing in the context of a game of modern rugby league. So there's no need to hit the panic button just yet for the Rabbitohs. To Madom, ahoy mate. You need the Rabbitohs to score at least 10 points. There you go. Well, I think they'll get at least 10 points. Jai Gray with the cutout pass that's loose in behind, picked up by Schiller, and Schiller's away. Gray comes back at him and covers up his own mistake there, Jai Gray, but quick play the ball. Gagai goes down the blind side. 15 metres out. Here they come again now, the Knights. Cogger, short pass, maybe slightly forward to Adam Elliott, and it is. What a let-off that is. A forward pass. Every time the Rabbitohs get down the other end, it seems they come up with a mistake. I know that they're suffering from a lot of injuries, and it's a very understrength Rabbitohs team, but there's no excuse for that. No excuse for some of what we're seeing. The ill discipline is ill discipline. It doesn't matter whether you're a regular first grade player or if they are down playing with scraps, essentially. There's no excuse for ill discipline. And that's what we've seen from the Rabbitohs so far in this first half. They've got a lot to tidy up at the break. "26 minutes gone, 18 points to 0. And it's the Bunnies in possession. LeBlanc will play it. And up over halfway they go here. Hubner. They've rolled out the substitutes to try and just get something going here, I suppose. The Rabbitohs fifth and last. Short side. Sullivan puts the kick up. Marju moves forward, takes it, and is wrapped up by Campbell Graham. Graham low, pass high. And a slow play the ball on his own 20-metre line as Bradman Best coughs it up. Here's a go for the Bunnies. Campbell Graham has got the ball. He's 10 metres out. What a hit that was. Oh, Bradman Best. He's not had a good start to the game. Kalaumatangi, 5 metres out from the line. And here they go, left. Dodd to Gray. They've got a 3-on-2. Jai Gray takes the line on himself, and he's a metre short. White line fever. Mamazoulis from dummy half. 6 again. Well, he's claimed it here, has he, Mamazoulis? It's going up as no try. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it cold. Peter Mamazoulis. Oh, this will be a monstrous let-off for the Knights. What a moment. DJ Shack says, even with all the Bunnies' absences, when you make the worst offensive team in the league look godlike, there's a serious issue. And it could just be partially a fact that the Knights, on the back of the desperation I talked about earlier, have just somewhat clicked into gear. They're not a terrible team. I mean, when your backline is Kalen Ponga, James Schiller, Dane Gagai, Bradman Best, Greg Marju, Fletcher Sharp, Jack Cogger, and you've got Phoenix Crossland in there at hooker, that is far from a terrible team. That is a team that should not be, up until this point in the competition, the worst attacking team in the competition, right? So maybe they've just finally clicked. This is what the Knights have always been capable of, and it's finally clicking into gear for them. Emmanuel Vinson, ahoy mate. Another channel member in the chat today. Fantastic. Channel members at the wazoo. Nice to see all of you. Cheers. Crossland kicks on tackle 4, looking for a 40-20. And he lands at 25 out as the rain has started. The rain has just exploded out of nowhere. That's craziness. Well, this is going to make a comeback very, very difficult for the Bunnies. This is torrential downpour. And all the crowds leaving as well. All the crowds seeking shelter. Well, that came out of absolutely nowhere. It was sunshine. I'm in Brisbane. The sun was out. I've got the air conditioner on. It's so hot. And then I turn away for a second to read the chat room. I look back, and it looks like it's been raining for about a week. That's really going to complicate things, and that's really going to wreak havoc on my try scorers list as well. It hasn't stopped the Rabbitohs from spreading the ball out to the left. Edge-to-edge stuff, and now they come back the other way. Tallis Duncan. Just inside Knights territory. Down the blind side they go. Fifth and last. 35 from the line. Sullivan puts the kick up. Ponga retreats to the end goal. Catches it for a 7-tackle set. And they just can't get anything right at the moment, the Rabbitohs. They've given away now a 7-tackle set just to go on top of the other mistakes they've made. And they just can't get anything happening. Wolfie, ahoy, mates. Wolfie's just got a feeling that the Panthers win. It's weird that it's raining at Suncorp, yet it's sunny in Coolum. I'll tell you what, if it's wet weather tomorrow, I fancy the Broncos. We know that the Panthers historically don't go very well in wet weather. Fifth and last here for the Knights. 20 metres from the line. Ponga. Out the back it goes for Sharp. They've got an overlap here. And it's out to Schiller, but it's forward, says the referee. Another forward pass down this end of the field. And the Knights, after a red-hot start, are just starting to look a little bit more like that team that we've seen from the start of the season. And Wolfie, I'm also talking about previous seasons as well, of course, where they've lost games to the West Tigers in the rain. And that was at a time the West Tigers were wooden spooners. And the Panthers were on a premiership run. Penalty now to the Rabbitohs as this ball illegally stripped out. Ruck interference. 8 minutes to go until the break. And it looks like the rain has subsided. Well, that was the most bizarre little pocket of rain that I think I've ever seen. It must have just been that one cloud made its way over the stadium and then dissipated. Can the Rabbitohs strike before the halftime break? Can it be one of my try scorers? They're 20 metres out on play 2. Sullivan heads across field. Links up with Gray. Gray with the goosey. And he's 10 metres out. Slips. And he's given himself a nut shot, has he? He's hurt himself and they've got 6 again. Sullivan onto Lockie Hubner. And another penalty here for the Rabbitohs. Well, they've got to be careful, the Knights. They don't want to lose a player to the bin. Phoenix Crossland is down. And Jai Gray was down in back play as well. The Knights have launched a captain's challenge. UFC, ahoy, mate. No, the Panthers do not suck in 2025. I'm not going to run through all the list of injuries again because apparently you don't listen. But when they're back to full strength, they'll be absolutely fine. It just might be a bit too late. By the time they are back to full strength, it could be a situation where it's just too late for them this year. Scrum down here. The Knights have launched a captain's challenge for a strip that was successful. And they've got the ball on their own 10-meter line. And now they get a penalty of their own. The Rabbitohs' ill discipline continues. And they're offside. Cogger launches it into touch. Not a lot of distance on it. But with 7 minutes to go, they're up to the 40. Bradman Best with the tap. And Dylan Lucas. UFC says even their full strength team sucks balls. Wow. I don't know what you're on today, but it's obviously some strong stuff. And I want some. It is some mega strong stuff. Knights. 40 out from the line. Couple of tackles left. Crossland to Cogger, and Kalen Ponga spills his beans.
Gosh.
Unbelievable. Kalen Ponga, such a simple mistake. I know that it's wet. It just bucketed down rain. But still. And it's raining again. Who do you think will have the most tries by the end of the season? Oh. Jeez. No idea. No idea. 6 again for the Rabbitohs, and the rain is set back in. Down this near edge they go. Hubner onto Kalamatangi. Takes 2, 3 now to bring him down. 30 meters out. Jai Gray slots into dummy half. Fires it across in front of the post. And they're not earning the right to go wide. We talk about it usually in a rugby union sense, but you've got to earn the right to go wide. Rabbitohs at the moment are just going edge to edge with no real plan, and they've spilt the ball. The Knights back in possession. $20 out from their own line with 4 left in this first half. Gagai now goes on a run. And these little pockets of rain are just so bizarre. It's really, really heavy. And then just like that, it disappears. And then it's back again. Short ball. Offload, and Sharp is through a gap. Sharp's only got one to beat. Jai Gray brings him down. A try-saving tackle and forces the mistake. Fletcher Sharp trying to play the ball too quickly. Jai Gray has done extremely well there. Not just to come up with the try-saving tackle on Fletcher Sharp, but to hold on just long enough and force Sharp into that mistake. Trying to play the ball too quickly. And you've got to say they've really butchered that one, the Knights. That would have been a big, big try, especially in this weather, right on the stroke of full time. Stroke of halftime. The 3 minutes left until the break. 18 points to 0. The Knights have got the lead. Rabbitohs shift again. Jai Gray, short ball. And again, they are not earning the right to do this. You have to earn the right. Rugby league or union, it doesn't matter. You have to earn the right to go wide. And they're just shifting from edge to edge with no real plan. And that's leading to a lot of mistakes here in this first half for the Rabbitohs. 5th and last. Just inside Knights territory. The high ball from Sullivan is allowed to bounce. Marju collects it. It bounces kindly for him, but he's held up 10 meters out from his own line. 2 minutes left now until the break. And it is indeed looking like 18-0 is going to be the score. Ponga in a dummy half, and it's been lost by Schiller. Well, there will be one more chance here for the Rabbitohs. The Knights, after such a brilliant first half overall, have completely gone off the boil here at the back end. The Bunnies and Wayne Bennett could use this as motivation if they let them in here. Scrum goes down. Gray breaks away the opposite side. Kalaumatangi. Oh, there's a lot of mud now starting to develop on this turf. It's getting chewed up quite badly, especially in these red zones. This is going to be bad news for the rest of the weekend. A minute left until the halftime break. Rabbitohs a metre short. Mamazolis sends it left. Dodd with the cutout pass that's read well by Schiller, who jams in and shuts it down. 5 metres out now, just a couple of tackles left. Tallis Duncan. Through this driving rain, 5th and last. The crash ball is the option, and Davey Moale's held up over the line. Brilliant goal line defence from the Knights. Incredible scrambling on their own goal line, the Knights. And it is going to be 18-0 at the halftime break. But the big talking point in that first half is obviously going to be the conditions that just came out of nowhere. This sudden downpour of rain and the turf that's getting chewed up. It's going to make it very, very difficult for the remaining games. If it doesn't rain anymore, then it has the potential to sort of dry out overnight, but the turf is still going to... Well, they haven't stopped playing here, the Knights. Cogger's in a gap, puts the kick in over the top. Jai Gray leads the chase, and Gray collects it, and he will slide into the end goal. That will be half-time. The Knights not letting the conditions bother them. Still willing to throw the ball around. Half-time, 18 points to nil. The Knights, well, they'll be pretty happy with that overall at the half-time break. I thought this would be a really high-scoring game with lots of tries. We're going to have to rethink that now as this rain just suddenly blasted down out of nowhere. Still a very good first half for the Newcastle Knights overall. They'll be disappointed with the way it ended. But a lot of those mistakes could potentially be contributed to the rain. I mean, it's hard to get an appreciation on TV for just how strong this downpour is. There's been certain camera angles where you can really see the rain. And when you see the rain on television, you know that it is extremely, extremely heavy. $18 points to nil at the break. 0 ticks off the multi. And I've got to say, I'm not feeling that good about the next games either. Although at least I've got a forward in the next one. So that's good. Halasima. Halasima's my boy. He'll get it done for me in that Warriors game. But Jackson Purdue and Rocco Berry. Why do I keep putting Rocco Berry in? I don't know. All right, halftime here. We'll have a quick break and be back to sum up some of what we just saw. Be back shortly.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, for the jokes and 10 pants last from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted road sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques. Just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a roll. From sideline jokes to post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted road sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Ahoy, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah!
Oh boy. NRL fan 25 says, I don't think Jai Gray is going to score. I don't think if this weather keeps up that any of those people in my multi are going to score, because it is stacked full of backs. And what we'll see probably is a bit of a tighter game in the second half. They'll keep it through the forwards. So that brings in some potential try scorers like Kalamatangi. Here's Paul, Leo Thompson. Unless the rain stops at the halftime break. Yes, it could be a long old day for my multi. See, because I had all the streams to set up for, I've done what I don't normally do. I don't normally put same game multis on this early in the day. I usually put them on about 15 minutes, 20 minutes before kickoff. Because you never know what's going to happen. It could be a change of conditions. Now, obviously, it wouldn't have helped me for this game, but I'm talking about the next games. Like the Warriors Cowboys game. I've got a few backs in that same game multi. Tigers, Dragons, it's all backs. Rec Tub 91 says Broncos can play wet weather footy. Absolutely. And the Panthers are terrible in the wet. So if it's raining tomorrow, or there's wet conditions still lurking about tomorrow, I give the nod to the Broncos. 100% on that one. And the rain should hold off now. It's not. The funny thing is, I'm just a little bit south of Brisbane, and there's no rain here. It seems to be just a little pocket of rain. Actually, let me check the bomb. Let's check the bomb and see the radar. Jeez, I can't believe 2025 and the bomb website is still not mobile compliant. Okay, let's have a look over Brisbane right now. Yeah, that's a very, very small pocket of rain. There's little patches of rain, basically, on the radar, going with that breeze, that 22-kilometer-an-hour breeze, going directly over Suncorp Stadium. So there'll probably be little pockets of rain throughout the course of the day and the night. There shouldn't be anything long-lasting or substantial. So hopefully it's not going to have too much of an effect on tomorrow. Because just from the little bit of rain that happened, I got very concerned about the state of the area of the field 10 meters out from the goal line. That red zone on both sides was just getting torn to shreds, mud building up. That shouldn't be happening, really, from that little amount of rain. So hopefully it dries out a little bit and we get to see some free-flowing action for the remainder of the day. I've got the Warriors winning next game anyway. Warriors to win the next one. Sure, 17. You got Schiller. Try. Very nice. He's gone close a couple of times. He was, yes. There are a couple of opportunities for him in open space. I'll tell you, if Latrell Mitchell were playing tonight and was the fullback, he would have scored both of them. The only reason that Schiller did not get across the line is because of the pace and determination of Jai Gray, little Mighty Mouse, with the try-saving tackles. If Latrell's at fullback for the Bunnies, Schiller scores both of those. Outside of that, it's been the wet weather. The wet weather that just sort of popped up out of nowhere. It's made conditions difficult at the back end of that first half, and hopefully not for too much longer. I did suss out the radar, and there's little pockets of rain, little pockets of cloud still hovering about. The rain will come and go throughout the course of the day / evening. So that will be something that the players just have to deal with, I'm afraid. Certainly didn't stop the Knights, though. They put on one last play before the halftime break. Not afraid to shift the ball in these conditions, so it'll make for an exciting second half. Twice this weekend, I have changed my tip right before kickoff. I had originally tipped Parramatta to beat the Sharks. Changed my mind right before kickoff at the very last second. Clicked on the Sharks to win. And I did it again here for this one. All week, I had picked the Rabbitohs. I saw the team lineups get finalized this morning. And right before kickoff, I went, I'm going to back the Knights in here. The Rabbitohs just have too many out. And as it stands right now, I'm very glad that I did. We've talked a bit in the past about a game of two halves, right? Well, what we saw from the Knights there, quite frankly, was a half of two halves. They were so good to start. It'll be very interesting to see what the second half can bring. Yes, fresh turf was laid. Wolfie says fresh turf was flown in. Not because of the Bulldogs-Broncos game, but Bulldogs-Broncos obviously contributed to it. There's just been so much happening at Suncorp Stadium. Was the rationale behind it. So many other events. There's been rugby union. I believe there's been a concert even. So that particular turf was certainly on its last legs. Warriors Cowboys coming up after this one, and then finishing the night with the Tigers versus Dragons. Good games, actually. I've seen a lot of complaints on social media about the lineup for Magic Round this year. I think it's been great. Both games last night were quality. Only 10 points the difference. Neither one of them ended up being a blowout. And this one, it's looked threatening at times. The Knights are certainly threatening to run away with it, but now the weather is probably going to keep this as close as it possibly can be. Warriors Cowboys should be a cracker. Tigers Dragons has the potential to be a really good game if both teams bring it. If both teams bring their best form, it will be. And then on Sunday, Panthers Broncos. Panthers still missing quite a few players, but I do think they'll put up a fight. I'm not sold on the Broncos. I do apologize, Broncos supporters. I don't think the Broncos are as good as they're being made out to be. And once they get a big win, the Broncos, they start to believe their own press and completely drop off the boil. And of course, the Storm are going to do a demolition job on the Raiders. Second half about to get underway. Can the Rabbitohs turn it around? What has the master coach said at the break to try and get his troops up for this one? The ponchos are out for those that have braved the conditions and stayed out in the stadium. Second half off and running. 3 tries to none at the moment. And a big hit there on Davey Moale first up. And it seems like that rain has very much eased off here to start the second half, which is good news for this game of footy moving forward. Alaumatangi, a nice strong carry out to the 40. Slow play the ball though, and here's Jai Gray at first receiver, wrapped up just shy of halfway, 5th and last. It's there for Sullivan now to put the clearing kick in. Or is that Lewis Dodd, sorry. Dodd kicks it down to Ponga. Ponga under no threat, brings it back. And he gets roughed up there too by the number 19 for the Rabbitohs, Lewis Dodd, that is. Giving Ponga a good working over on the grounds. Greg Marshu with the hit up. Just outside their own 40 now. The Knights up over halfway. With Thompson. Tackle for. Crossland sends it down the short side for Adam Elliott. 5th and last, 40 out. Togga puts it high into the corner. And the Rabbitohs just stand and watch it. This could go anywhere. It's there for the Knights. Pierce Paul has got it. Offloads. And then the Knights all stood there and watched it. Well, that was a very bizarre little sequence of play. I don't think the Knights players realised that they had the ball. So they were more than entitled to pick that up. That might be the most bizarre little sequence of play I've ever seen. The Rabbitohs inside Knights territory. A few tackles left up their sleeve. And it's Hubner just settling things down in midfield. They go left. Back inside to Moale. And Moale will play it on the 5th and last. 30 out. Dodd puts a little dink in over the top. Ponga moves forward and takes it. And that's a great catch in the air in these conditions. 10 metres out from their own line, the Knights to start this set. Schiller heads across field, and he's an easy target there for LeBlanc. Marju out to the 20. Quick play the ball. Well done from Jaden Sullivan there at marker. Wraps up the threat of Fletcher Sharp. Gagai can only get a few meters. He's picked up and driven backwards as well. Fifth and last. Just outside their own 30. That was a good defensive set from the Rabbitohs. The kick is taken on the full. And winding up to bring it back. 40 meters out from their own line. Campbell Graham plays it. Now Gray finds half a gap. Into the Knights half. Nice and early in the tackle count. They've just gone back to basics here to start the second half. And that's probably what the message was from Wayne Bennett at halftime. We're only 3 converted tries down. It's okay. Just go back to basics. Earn the right to shift it wide. And it will be a completely different half this time around. Isaiah Tass takes the fifth and last. 20 meters out over on that far touch. Gray back down the short side. Does he know it's the fifth and last, Jai Gray? He obviously didn't. And he's been wrapped up with the ball, and that's a handover. What in the hell kind of fifth tackle option was that from Jai Gray? Whatever it wasn't the right one. It wasn't even close to the right one. Knights back in possession. Pierce Paul. I've seen some crazy bits of play in this game so far. It's thrown up some doozies. As the Knights now up over halfway. Sharp with the inside ball for Bradman Best. Is it? Yes, it is. Bradman Best plays it 40 out. Croker will take the fifth and last. 30 from the line. Pogger down the short side. Puts it high. Contestable kick, but it's taken by Tass. 10 meters out from their own line. Rabbitohs back in possession. Slow to get back behind the ball here, the Rabbitohs. It's a little early in the second half to be gassed. 5.5 gone. 18 points to Zippo. Warriors, Cowboys coming up next. The defense has certainly gone up a cog from both teams. Fifth and last now for the Rabbitohs, just outside their 30. Back to Sullivan, who clears. Bounces up very kindly for Ponga at the back. And KP with the cutout pass puts Best into space. Best fends away from Graham. Throws it back to Ponga. Ponga's got one to beat. Offloads for Bradman Best. And Bradman Best will score. Bradman Best scores the try. Finishes off a glorious counter-attack that was started inside their own half by Kalen Ponga. Well, we got one tick off the multi today. Kalen Ponga from the kick return summed it up nicely. Cutout pass. And Bradman Best has done extremely well to not just put the fend on and launch the ball infield for Ponga, but also continue running forward in support. Jai Gray with another valiant effort. But the Knights have extended their lead. A tick off the multi at long last. It had been a quiet old game up until that point. Now we're on 3 to go. 22 points to nil. Bradman Best gets his name on the try scorer sheet. $22 points to nil. The kick to come. Kalen Ponga with another try assist. That's his second of the night. The Rabbitohs getting in each other's way there in defense as well didn't help things. Campbell Graham, normally such a solid defender, he just hasn't been the same since he returned from injury. We see it happen so often. Campbell Graham was one of the elite centers in the game before he got injured. Ponga now from out wide, hooks it back through the posts. The conversion is successful, and Newcastle lead this 24 points 0. 24 points to 0. Amazing. Ken Ho says, Bentley Harpe tries, please. I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I need him for my same game multi. Rabbitohs get us back underway. 24 points to 0. This is incredible. The Knights have started the second half much like they started the first. And that turf, after the little pocket of rain, I'm very, very concerned about the amount of mud that built up so quickly. The rain was heavy, but it was a very short-lasting pocket of rain. And the ground should not be as muddy as it is. Crossland brings it outside the 40. George Alarm, ahoy, mate. Ponga, don't know that he's expecting that ball. Tried to get on the outside of Kalamatangi, but the big man wraps him up for the 5th and last. Ponga kicks down inside the 20, and it's taken by Campbell Graham at the back. Graham winds up. Not a lot of distance made on that kick return, though. 8.5 gone in the second half. 24-0 to the Knights. It has been a dominating display. Up towards halfway now, the Rabbitohs march. Can they get something going? It feels like we've been waiting all game for the Rabbitohs to get something going. Playing it on halfway. And a nice ball there from Hubner. Creates a little bit of space, but not enough. 5th and last. 35 out. Sullivan wants it on the right. Gets it. Puts it high. And the Knights stand back and allow the Rabbitohs to take that one. And they are there to greet Isaiah Tass as soon as he hits the ground. And that will be a handover 20 meters out from their own line, the Knights. Without Cody Walker and without Jack Whiten, without Latrell Mitchell, without these experienced controlling heads, the Rabbitohs are just struggling, especially at the end of sets. This has been some of the worst 5th tackle option taking I've seen. I'm not even just talking for the Rabbitohs. I'm talking in general. Just period. As the Knights go back inside Rabbitohs territory. And an offload is loose, but it bounces kindly for Cogger. No, it's called forward. So it hasn't bounced kindly at all. Rabbitohs ball just short of halfway. And again, the Knights just invite them in. They've got this game so well in control, the Knights. They don't really need to be doing this. The more opportunities you give, and we know how easy it can be in the modern day rugby league to get a roll on, even though the Rabbitohs are looking like a complete shambles right now, a little bit of a roll on, some momentum their way, and you just never know what might happen. It seems like a little bit of a fairy tale at the moment, but you just never know. The Knights don't want to be making those sorts of mistakes. Sullivan hands it off inside, and Rabbitohs will play it now. 30 out from the try line. Sullivan out the back to Gray. They're lined up to the right. Here's Tass. Straightens. Tass gets a penalty. High contact there from Bradman Best. And, yeah, just bumps off the shoulder. Oh, Fletcher Sharp as well with a little hand to the face. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. If a hand slapped across the face in defense is considered high contact penalty, why is a palm off to the face on attack not considered high contact? 15 out from the line. Rabbitohs. Jai Arrow sends it through the hands. Gray with the goose step. 10 meters out from the line on play 2. 52 gone. They have to be the next to score. If the game's not over already, they have to be the next to score here. Do the Bunnies. LeBlanc in front of the post, a meter short. Play 3. Well, that's tackle 4 now. Mamazula sends it left. Dodd to Gray. Cutout pass is almost intercepted by Schiller. James Schiller, he would have been in under the post. It'll be 6 more tackles here for the Rabbitohs. Oh, James Schiller is threatening to break away. He's getting closer and closer. But, of course, time is running out. Scrum down for the Rabbitohs. 10 meters out. They've decided to have it over on the left. Sullivan with the inside ball. 10 meters from the try line. Rabbitohs, can they hit back? This has been, so far, the biggest pumping of the weekend. I should imagine that will be a record that gets broken by the Storm on Sunday against the Raiders. 6 again here to the Bunnies. A meter short. Dodd takes the line on in midfield, and he is dumped in the tackle. Big defense. Elliott puts him down. To the right they go. Cut out pass. Isaiah Tass, who's playing in the centres, is taken down 10 meters out over on that far right-hand edge. Kalaumatangi, dummies. Takes the line on. He's a couple of meters short. Slow to get up and play it. Dodd through the hands now for Gray. And here is Ewan Aitken. Gets the offload away, and it's been spilt forward by Bentley Hape. Mistake again from the Rabbitohs in the red zone. They just can't win a trick. The Knights' scrambling defense, simply too strong. Jai Gray, a little bit of cramp and back play, I think. He should be okay. Should be okay. He's just got to stretch that out. The Knights win the scrum. Marju takes the hit up. Just short of their own 20. Here's Bradman Best. The big names starting to get heavily involved here for the Knights. Up to the 40 now on play 3. This game firmly in their control. They don't have to do anything silly from here. Fletcher Sharp almost gets away from Aitken, but he's brought down on halfway. A couple of tackles left. 5th and last. Smack bang in midfield. They go to Ponga, who puts this one high into the corner. Campbell Graham's there. Graham takes it, heads across field. And he's tackled on the 20-meter line in midfield for the Rabbitohs. Wolfie, it's raining for you now, huh? There you go. The rain caught up. Very, very small pockets of rain will be hitting at various points throughout the course of the evening. Rabbitohs on halfway. 5th and last. 56 minutes gone. They need to make something happen very, very soon. The high ball for Marju. The chase doesn't really put him under any pressure. And Marju takes the ball. Bradman Best up the middle. He'll play at 30 meters out. A couple of mistakes from Bradman tonight, but overall a solid game. Ponga. Jai Gray still limping in back play. Well, that's not good news for those of us that have Jai Gray in our multis. if he's not going to be able to open up and run at full pace. I thought it was just cramps, but seems like he is legitimately hurt. Fifth and last, 40 from the line. Sharp puts it high into the corner. They're going to test out Jai Gray here. Can he run? He can't run. Jai Gray's got to leave the field. I mean, this is terrible for my multi, but the bloke is absolutely cooked. He needs to come off the field for the greater good of the team. My multi be damned. Campbell Graham now out to the 30. Still limping in back play. Here he comes. I think he's leaving the field now. Here he comes from the field. Jai Gray. So there's another one out for the Rabbitohs as they spread it wide to the left. Now the cutout pass on the bounce to Fletcher Myers, who's only just entered the fray. And that's the fifth and last, 30 from the line. Sullivan. Crossfield kick. They're all offside out there to the right. They have to retreat and just allow Marju to take this one. Marju's taken 10 out from his own line. Well, they're dropping like flies here, the Rabbitohs. They've already lost so many players going into the game, and now to lose Jai Gray. RIP multi, yes indeed. It has got absolutely no chance now. Jai Gray leaving the field. Brazil outside the 30, still fighting, still driving the legs, and a shove to boot. Who was that on the ground? Jai Arrow, of course. Jai Arrow, the antagonizer, gets a little shove from Frizzell while he was on the turf there. Bentley Harpay's back for the kick return, brings it out to the 20. 59 minutes gone. The Knights firmly in command of this game. I mean, it's hard to see any way that they lose this from here. It would take a full-blown miracle from this point. Down the short side, Sullivan pops it up for Kalamatangi, who heads back into midfield. Links up with Kepi. Kepi is chopped down just over the halfway mark. Jai Arrow takes the fifth and last. 30 from the line. Short side they go. A little dink in over the top. Contestable ball, and the Rabbitohs spill it forward. Ponga comes away with it. Offloads. They've got numbers to the left if they shift it there, but straight up the middle go the Knights. Not wanting to tempt fate too much, not needing to tempt fate too much at this stage of the game with everything so firmly in command. Zayafidi up to the 40. That's only tackle 2. They're in good field position here if they can get to end of set. Short pass for Pierce Paul, who's up over halfway. Slow to get up and play it. Brayley's on the field now. He's got Frizzell at first receiver. Sharp sends it left for Ponga. 3-on-2. Best gets the fend on. Back inside for Sharp. In open space. Cuts back in field. He's going to get a third. Fletcher Sharp gets a hat trick. The Knights go even further ahead. It's an absolute shellacking here at Suncorp. The Knights have turned it on. Robert M. Ahoy, mate. What would Wayne be thinking? I don't suspect he'd be overly concerned. This is a very, very understrength Rabbitohs team. Let's remember. $28 points to 0. Kick to come. Quick break. I'll be right back. Yeah, so Robert M. Ahoy, mate. Welcome along. Cowboys and Dragons. I think these next games coming up going to be very close. I've got the Warriors winning and I've got the Tigers winning. But having said that, I would not at all be surprised if both of those games went the opposite way. As Ponga converts, it's 30 points to 0. Wolfie says, I know Gray is off, but they might not even score. It's not looking good, is it? It is not looking good for the Rabbitohs to even break the donut. We have officially seen our first absolute romping of Magic Round. And I dare say it won't be the last. The Melbourne Storm are going to put an absolute hurt on the Raiders. It's going to be an absolute demolition job on the Raiders on Sunday night. 62 minutes gone here, 30 points to 0. Are the Rabbitohs going to see 50 put on them here? It's not out of the question. Tackle 4 here. Frizzell plays it. 40 out from their own line. Saifidi just short of halfway. Fifth and last. Back for Cogger. Cogger kicks it. Down to Bentley Hape. And he just ducks into the contact there on the 20. 17 minutes left to play. And the storyline now is, can the Rabbitohs break the drought? Can they get themselves on the board at all? In any capacity, 30 points to 0. And they've spent so much of the time in this game down in their own half. It's been ridiculous. Jai Arrow gets the offload. Second phase play. And it almost opens up here for Mamazelis. Fifth and last. Down the short side. Dodd. Through the hands now. Some space. The kick in field is bobbled by Kalen Ponga. Has he done well to take it? Yes, he has. Scooped it up in these wet conditions. 10 meters out from his own line. The kick from Fletcher Myers was a good one. Bradman Best. Frick Cheese says, surprised the wingers haven't scored yet for the Knights. Not me. That's why I didn't have any of them in my multi. 40 out from their own line now. The Knights, fifth and last. 30 points to 0. Game well and truly in control. Cogger puts the kick down for Bentley Harpe. Takes it on the 10. And he now returns the kick out to the 30. The Rabbitohs have got 16 minutes here to get themselves off the mark. Crazy. And then we've got the Warriors Cowboys coming up next. And the Tigers Dragons. A very despondent looking Jai Gray there on the bench. Unfortunately for the multi, his night is done. 30 out from the line now, the Rabbitohs. As Arrow has it in midfield, looks to fend, but can't get away from Brodie Jones. Still going though, Arrow, and now Pierce Paul comes in to help out. And they take him down on the fifth and last. 25 out from the line, completely out of gas here, the Rabbitohs. Crossfield kick from Sullivan, contestable. Campbell Graham up there, bats the ball back, and it's on for Isaiah Tass to score. Well, there we go. They've potentially got themselves off the mark. Isaiah Tass. It goes up as a try. It stands for now, but we'll have a look at this contact from Campbell Graham. He lost it, Did he lose it forward or backwards? I'm happy to say that's backwards. Play on. Isaiah Tass does well to step inside Kalen Ponga and plants it down in the corner. I would have preferred it if oh no. Yeah, I would have preferred it if Bentley Harpe was out there. It's a completely rejigged backline at the moment, though. Bentley Harpe's out the back. Fletcher Myers is playing on the wing to replace Jai Gray, who, of course, had to go off injured. Try yet to be confirmed. Don't know why it hasn't been confirmed yet. It seemed pretty straightforward to me. There we go. Try's been confirmed at long last. Just signaling off what we already knew. They've finally got themselves on the board. Isaiah Tass with the try, and it looks like he's also going to take the shot at goal. 13 minutes to play. And they're going to have to be perfect from here, the Rabbitohs. Isaiah Tass from bang on the sideline. And it's not the favoured side for a right-footed kicker. He's over on this near edge. 13 minutes to play, 30 points to 4. They've got to be absolutely perfect. Tass moves in, and he's missed it. Wasn't even close. Doesn't even get 1 point for a behind. He was that far off. 30 points to 4 it remains, but at least they've got a try scorer now. The Rabbitohs. Isaiah Tass gets his name there on the try scorer sheet. And they will not be held to 0. So they've got to be happy about that. It's something, at least. A very, very minuscule thing in the greater context of things, but it's something at least. 13 minutes still left to play. Can they perhaps come up with some more consolation points? Not that it matters anymore for my multi, but it would be nice to see a respectable scoreline for what it's worth. 30 out from their own line now, the Rabbitohs. On the back of points, can they come up with something more? Memazelis from dummy half goes quickly, up over halfway, offloads. Fifth and last, they're 40 from the line. Arrow at first receiver, out the back for Dodd. Dodd puts the left boot to it. And no kick chase to speak of, really, and it's taken by Schiller at the back. And Schiller runs straight over the top of some poor soul. We got time off. Was that Lewis Dodd? I think it was. Lewis Dodd puts the kick through. And then Schiller just runs straight over the top of him. Used him as a mere speed bump. What's my Twitch? The Twitch, I believe, is WWO Sports. I'm pretty sure. WWO Sports. All one word. Marju takes tackle 3. Straight up the middle he went. Just short of the 40. Brazil. Ball playing now. Ponga keeps it alive. And now Schiller's in open space. Schiller gets past Myers. He's got support inside but doesn't give it. James Schiller really wants the try. Cogger in midfield. Onto Sharp. Cut out pass for Ponga. They go left now. Best flicks it on for Marju. Marju, one-on-one with Tass. Fires it back in for Best. Best. He's over the line, but he's driven backwards, and now it's stolen away by Jaden Sullivan. A metre short, and the rain comes down again. There's another little pocket of rainfall. Another small pocket that's going to tear up this turf. And a scrum 10 metres out for the Rabbitohs. And this is another huge pocket of rain. I'm actually copying it here on the south side of the stadium as well. The initial rainfall, we didn't get it here on the south side, but it is hammering down now south side. And it's a lot stronger than the last little pocket of rain. That's going to wreak havoc for the Warriors and Cowboys coming up. This game was already over. But this will be chaos for the Warriors Cowboys. Cut out pass now. Puts Fletcher Myers into a gap. Myers steps back in field. And he's taken just short of the halfway line. Mamazelis from dummy half. Up to the 40. Fires the pass back about 10 metres to Arrow in midfield. He sends it over to the far wing for Tass. Flick pass back inside for Graham. Campbell Graham puts the fend on and he's brought down. Fifth and last, 35 metres out from the line. Sullivan. Back inside for Bentley Harpe. Skews this one slightly off the side of the boot. It's loose and picked up by Frizzell. And the Knights have it. 9 minutes left to play. Newcastle. Tilapia Dave says any team with Latrell is hated. I don't know about that. I love Latrell. His absence is being severely felt out there tonight. His and Cody Walker as well. No Latrell, no Cody Walker, no Jack Whiten. Three very big names out from the Bunnies tonight. And it's really been telling in certain areas of the game. 40 out from the line now, Frizzell. Fifth and last for the Knights. Could they get another one? Pogger down the short side, puts the kick up. Chasing through is Fletcher Sharp. Sharp is there for it, but it's been lost forward by Bentley Harpe. And a result here for the Knights. They want more points. This rain is incredibly intense. Warriors, Cowboys coming up next. It's going to be disastrous for them. When's that? That's Warriors, Cowboys. When do they kick off? 5 o'clock. It's going to be a nightmare for them if these conditions keep up. Flick pass out in front of Greg Marju and into touch. It was on for the Knights, but yeah, largely irrelevant. Okay, so 5:30. So there's a little bit of time for this rain to pass. I don't think it's really going to dry out the turf, though, not in such a short amount of time. So 7 minutes left in this one. Yeah, so there's going to be about half an hour in between games. That will be a little bit of time for the rain itself to pass, but it's leaving its mark on the turf. In the red zones, it looks absolutely atrocious. Bunnies down the short side. And Sullivan takes it up over halfway. A couple of tackles left. Ewan Aiken goes on a run. Six minutes to play. Bentley Harpe offloads. Kalaumatangi gets the arm free but can't offload. 30 meters from the line. In midfield. Totola, the captain. Sullivan heads across field. Now the short pass for Ewan Aiken, and he's hit hard and driven down by Schiller. Big defense from the Knights again on their own line. Kepi almost goes through. Fifth and last. A metre short. Sullivan with the double pump to Bentley Harpe, and he's held up. And that'll be a turnover 5 meters out from the line. Big defense once again. Xavier Ponduo. Halftime score was 18 points to 0 in favor of the Knights. Four minutes left to play. Brazil at the back to Crossland. Short pass. Almost puts Dylan Lucas into a hole. They're inside the Rabbitohs territory again. Crossland out the back for Cogger. Change of direction here from Pierce Paul. Fifth and last, 40 from the line. Kalen Ponga's off. So both starting fullbacks now off the field. The kick down for Bentley Harpe. Gets away from one. And he's wrapped up well by Dane Gagai chasing through. Rabbitohs still inside their own 20. Three and a half to play. 30 points to 4. Can they come up with some more consolation points here, the Rabbitohs? .40 from their own line. It seems a long way to go. Fifth and last. Totola takes it just inside the Knights territory. Sullivan puts the kick up. Contestable ball. Campbell Graham goes through, puts pressure on, but Marju gets away. Marju fends from Tuss. Marju gets through another one. He's up over halfway. He's got support, and Bradman Best is brought down. A great tackle from behind. 40 out from the line. Here come the Knights again with 3 left on the clock. Gagai can't get on the outside of Aitken, so he offloads back for Cogger. Cogger sends it the other way now. Saifidi, 25 out, bumps off the first tackle. Beautiful ball movement there from the Knights. Staying on the short side. Crossland, grubber kick in behind the line. And it's dived on by the Rabbitohs. 5 out. Two and a half to play. 30 points to 4. What a performance it's been from the Knights. I'm so glad that I changed my tip right before kickoff. 3 from 3 to start Magic Round. Not bad. Not bad at all. Through the hands now. The Rabbitohs down the left edge. Aiken dummies. Gets the ball free, and then it's been spilt. Gagai collects the loose ball. Pierce Paul in a dummy half. Takes it up over halfway. Can they get some more points, the Knights? It just hasn't happened today for the Rabbitohs. Short on troops, and then they lost some more throughout the course of the game. And now Leo Thompson spills it. A minute and a half to play. Thompson with the error. Rabbitohs have it. Totola down the short side. Mamazelis is down in back play. Oh, God, another player down for the Rabbitohs. You can't believe it. You just can't believe it. the players, the troops that they're losing. Through the hands now. Bentley Harpe, cut out pass to Graham. Graham in space, puts the kick through. Bentley Harpe was offside, but Crossland's back there anyway. And Phoenix Crossland has it a metre out from his own line. And that should be it. The Knights can just wind down the clock from here. 30 points to 4. It was a must-win for Newcastle. And they got the job done. Flo Lacey says, come on the Wars now. Yes, indeed. Warriors to get the job done against the Cowboys. Do not let me down. Mamazelis is off the field. They've lost another one, the Bunnies. Mamazelis leaving the field. His arm being supported by the trainers. It seems like a shoulder injury there. So that'll be another one that they're going to lose for a couple of games at least, it looks like. 2 seconds to go. And Frizzell's not even interested in playing the ball. The Knights have won 30 points to 4. It's our first real lopsided contest of Magic Round weekend. It won't be the last, especially if this wet weather continues. We've seen pockets of very, very heavy rainfall. The turf has been absolutely torn to shreds, especially in the red zone. It's going to wreak havoc for the rest of the weekend. It's going to wreak havoc for the rest of today. Warriors, Cowboys coming up next. Who does the rain favor in that one? Warriors, I guess. We'll go Warriors in a tight one in this torrential downpour. Yeah, Flo Lacey, I agree. Flo Lacey says, I think the wet conditions will suit the Wars more. I suspect you're probably right there. So let's go Warriors in a tight one coming up next. Great effort here by the Newcastle Knights, though. 30 points to 4. A much-needed victory, a desperation victory, a result that they absolutely needed. And they came out and they got the job done. Congratulations to them. Unfortunately, that multi doesn't look too good. And I blame the rain in most part. The rain certainly played a part in it. I don't think that multi was really going to pay out anyway, but the rain definitely didn't help. And it is still raining there at Suncorp Stadium. Still raining here in Brisbane. Ooh, what will that mean for the next game? Cowboys, Warriors coming up. Waste to Water Sports, thank you so much for your company here on this one. I won't do too much of a post game for this on account of the fact we've got so much coming up for the rest of the evening. Warriors, Cowboys coming up after this, and the Tigers, Dragons to finish the night off. So that will be in about half hour, roughly half hour's time for the next game. Warriors, Cowboys, I'll catch you then. Until then, cheers. See you soon.